Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN Caramba, and we're back. Has Mikel Arteta lost the dressing room? Before we get into that, we've got the guest, special guest, Kenny Ken. Kenny, introduce yourself to the fan base. Introduce who you are as an Arsenal supporter and your background.
Well, basically, a background. Nice background. Born and bred in Islington. So, although people say that it isn't clear cut to support Arsenal, when I was growing up, my mum was the one who was an Arsenal supporter. She was the one who made sure me and my brother supported Arsenal. But you support the club because your parents say you support the club. My mum told me to support the club. But I actually fell in love with the club in 1980 when we got to two cup finals, the League Cup and the European Cup Winners' Cup. And that was it. The love affair just started when I was the age of 8. So I've always been an Arsenal supporter, born and bred in Islington. Went to Christ the King in Tottenham Park. Went to Saturday Wishes in Archway, Highgate Hill Archway. It's one of those things where it's just a massive, massive love affair. Never hated the club, been frustrated with the club, but it's Arsenal. I have memories of being an Arsenal fan is when we got to cup finals there, where I lived in Finsbury Park, just off Andover Estate. If Arsenal got to the cup final, every house window had an Arsenal flag or an Arsenal emblem, or they have a copy of the Evening Standard, where on the Evening Standard you'll have the like I said, the photo of the players, and it'll be in colour, because normally Evening Standard was in black and white, but because of the cup final, they'll put the picture of the players in colour. So that was kind of my introduction to our great club. When I was growing up, 1978 Cup Final, 1979 Cup Final, 1980 Cup Final, 1980 European Cup Winners' Cup Final. We only won one trophy by then, but it's one of the things. And at the time, my favourite player was Liam Brady. But the reason why I say it's a lot of pressure to be an Arsenal fan, because Liverpool were the main team when I was growing up. When that Liverpool side on above Paisley is far superior to Sir Alex's Man United teams. It's far superior to Pep Guardiola's teams. Trust me. You've got to trust me on this, because I won't lie to you. That Liverpool side with Bob Paisley, when they had all those great players, levels. As an Arsenal supporter during that time, it's quite all you wanted to do was just win the cup and get to Europe, because you had no chance of winning the league with that kind of side. But I think when I was 14, when we got George Graham, that's when Arsenal, for me, awaked from its deep sleep of not winning trophies. And George Graham, who I think is our best ever manager, rewrote the cup. You think about it, he brought a lot of youngsters in, like Rocastle, Adams, Martin Hayes, Michael Thomas. He had Paul Davis there as well, who was a massive influence on the younger players. And it was actually only 24 when George came to the club. So have that kind of fulcrum in the team. And obviously we had players like Viv Anderson and John Lukic. That is, for me, when going to Arsenal became more enjoyable, because I finally believed when George Graham came to that team that Arsenal were going to win the league. I didn't, or had a chance to win the league, because first season we went on a 22-match unbeaten run, but got to the League Cup final, beat Liverpool. Season afterwards, got a League Cup final, lost to Luton. Then we won the league in '89, and I think that's where I look at my time as Arsenal supporter, and that's when the standards for me became higher. George Graham set the standards. George Graham's the best ever manager we ever had. He's superior to Arsene Wenger, but Arsene Wenger, his football excited me. He brought some players with panache. You already had Dennis Bergkamp, you already had Ian Wright, but to bring players like Patrick Vieira, Robert Pires, Anelka, Henry, Overmars into the side, for the first time. Yeah, I'm not too far. We weren't too far from the Sobel Centre as well, Ali. For the first time in a long, long time, I thought, oh my God, I'm actually watching the Harlem Globetrotters. Because before, if you wanted to see good football and attractive football, Spurs were playing the attractive football. They weren't winning anything, but they played attractive football. Whilst under George, we were basically, to be honest, we played a bit like Mikel Arteta's football, but it was more effective because, you know, George had that great back four which Arsene Wenger inherited, and then it's one of those times where we won the double in Arsene Wenger's first full season. And then, believe it or not, we didn't win anything for 4 years, and then we won a double, and then we won the FA Cup the year after that, and then we became the Invincibles, and then we won the FA Cup, and then we won nothing after that. So if you talk about the great Arsenal years, you talk about the George Graham years and the early Wenger years, but when you look at the Arsenal Football Club on a whole, we need to change the ethos of the football club in order to compete with Man City. We need to get rid of the Cronkies, you know, get rid of people like Lord Peckham, get rid of the stuffiness of, oh, we're the Arsenal. We do things the right way. We're a classy club. We're not going to compete or dominate football with that kind of ethos or that kind of organic way of doing things, i.e. living off our means. The only way we can compete and be a big powerhouse in Europe is if we sell to someone in Russia or Saudi Arabia and we get rid of FFP. We get rid of all those we get rid of FFP and get those owners in, then we've got a very, very good chance of dominating. Excellent chance. But until that happens, we're going to just be, we're not going to challenge. We're going to challenge, but we're not going to win the league, and we're not going to win the Champions League. That's how sad it is, but I've just come to that conclusion there that the best players won't come to Arsenal. They're going to go to Man City or Real Madrid.
The same way they used to go to Chelsea and Man United and teams like that when they were winning. What, you know, with that background and you going to countless amount of games and growing up in that area, I'm getting feedback.
I think that might be for
Yeah.
Would you like having like growing up in the area, being from the area, you know, being born and bred, seeing different eras, different managers, you know, than a lot of before. What do you make of the fan base and what do you make of the state of the club right now?
Well, the thing about the fan base is that you can't put the genie back in the bottle. The reason why you can't put the genie back in the bottle is that you know, if we don't have the fan base we have now, then we wouldn't have had that success with, you know, with Wenger's teams. Because let's not forget, a lot of fans I speak to, they were brought up on success from George Graham. So I spoke to a guy who's from Poland, and his first introduction to Arsenal was a George Graham successful years. And then if you speak to fans now, they're brought up in Arsene Wenger and Ian Wright. But the fact is that the fan base has changed. The reason why it's changed is because of Sky. You know, with Sky, you know, getting the TV rights and selling the rights across all over the Europe and the world, we've got a lot of fans from abroad who will get up early, go and watch us play. And not only will they get up early and watch us play, their dream is to save as much money as they can, you know, and then basically come to watch Arsenal play. You know, come here for 2 weeks and get at least 2 games. That's their dream. And regardless of what you think of that, you can't take that away from them because they know the players, but their dream is not just to come here, come to England and watch Arsenal play. They want to know people like, and I say it with as much humility as I can muster, people like me who live Arsenal. They want to meet people who go to the ground. They want to meet everyone else. And I think that's one of the reasons why the podcasts are appreciated by the football club, because inadvertently, as much as we're not fans of AFTV have led the way in terms of getting a new fan in, because they've introduced, the fans to, from abroad to, fans who go to games. And it's not just AFTV, it's the other podcasts, you included. So the fan base is a bit different. Before social media, it was a case of diehards who used to come from the UK, but mostly North London and Hertfordshire. And we used to go and discuss the games in the pubs afterwards. And then now it's because of podcasts, we can talk to each other through a podcast or on Instagram. So the fan base. But the one thing about the fan base is, how do I say it without trying to be offensive? A lot of fans are split into different groups. You've got fans who see an opportunity to make a career of themselves and see opportunity to be journalists. So they'll start off as a fan, then they will run a podcast, and then their ambition is to get into the press conferences, talk to Mikel Arteta or be the Arsenal representative on the mainstream. And then you've got the fan who comes from abroad, as I described, wants to come and meet other fans, and you've got the diehards. The problem is that the diehards are not wanted by the club. They're not wanted on Sky because the simple reason is that they got no, media training of any substance. Simple. That's how I look at it.
No, I hear that. How do you feel about this manager? Like, how do you feel about the way the so-called process is going? Obviously, Edu being the face of one of the faces of our process. I mean, he was always having pictures and always backing up this manager that, him and Arteta are identifying the right players, and they had to clear out the squad, and, everybody's behind Mikel Arteta. How do you feel like that has affected the team, Edu leaving? And do you think that that's got something to do with the fact that a lot of players, not just one or two, a lot of players, if not all of them, are playing within themselves and look a little bit disgruntled with the way that they've been set out to play?
Well, the thing is that the manager's got the power, isn't he? He's won every battle in the dressing room. He won the battle with Guendouzi. He won the battle with Mesut Ozil, and he's won the battle with Aubameyang. You know what I mean? To the extent that if he's won all those battles, and he wins his battles in the boardroom where Vinay leaves before he leaves, Edu leaves before he leaves, then the manager's got complete control of the footballing side of things. So, for a manager who's basically got no experience, his first job, he's been given a lot of money, a lot of trust by the board, and a lot of power to the extent that he's going to have a say in who's going to be Edu's replacement. In fact, he might even choose him, or he didn't even interview him, because he's got that kind of power. In terms of the players, well, you only have to look at the situation. If you look at Martinelli, he can't be happy to see Arsenal go after Mudryk and then getting Trossard. The fact that they were prepared to pay £8 million Mudryk says that he's dissatisfied with Martinelli's performances. And Martinelli's been affected since then. He hasn't been playing well since that's happened. Another thing as well is that in terms of Jesus can't be impressed that if he's fully fit, he's the understudy to Kai Havertz, and then he's understudy to Trossard, and then Trossard can't be happy because Martinelli is completely out of form, but Martinelli gets a gig up ahead of him because of his pace, and then there's a Sterling issue. Big game player, is watching those two underperform, but he can't get games. There's no way you can get those players running a leg for you if they feel that they haven't been given a fair crack of the whip. Players are only getting with a manager if they play regularly. I don't care what anyone says. You can tell a player
they win stuff to justify.
You can't. There's no way a player is going to follow the team ethos if he doesn't play. I'm sorry, but players have got egos. But Mikel Arteta is the alpha and omega at Arsenal. And let's face it now, if results don't improve, then we're going to see a lot more. At the end of the season, we're going to see a lot of people leave the football club, and they're going to, tout his management. Because at the end of the day, he's got away with it because majority of the fans do love Mikel. They are behind him, and they feel that he is going to win us big trophies. If not today, maybe tomorrow and the year afterwards. They're completely behind him. There's nothing you could say to make me change my mind on it. Mikel has got the club under lock and key, fan base, board, and he's got the players under complete control because they know they will never win a battle with him.
No, listen, everything you just said actually aligns, because if we're to believe the reports, that's why Edu just gave up because he said as a sporting director, he was being undermined by the manager, as if the manager had the final say over transfers instead of sporting director. And that's something that I called out, and quickly just before we go to forward. That was the problem that we had with Wenger. We went away from that to now. It seems like we're going back to that. You know, Wenger didn't want a sporting director. What's that? Why are we getting a sporting director? But we've got it regardless. Got rid of him, got a sporting director. But now we've got a young manager that hasn't got the credentials of Wenger, and we're giving him the power that Wenger used to have at the club. It's like we've done a full circle, go in a different direction to come back to how it was run under Wenger. Even the reports that we heard about Wenger, Arteta has a say in the next sporting director, shows that we don't have a continuity plan. Where once again, like Wenger, the club was built around Wenger. Wenger left, we was in disarray. They're doing the same thing with Arteta. Arteta gets to pick the players. He has the final say. We're building the club in his image. So when we get rid of him, we're back in a situation that we was with Wenger, that we don't have an identity, because everything that we've built is to suit a manager, that specific manager, which is not even a winning formula. If we was building a team into the formula of, let's say, a Jose Mourinho, okay, cool, we could transition that into a Conte, and then we can go recruit another manager. What is the ethos of Mikel Arteta? One season we play attacking football, next season it's defensive. One season we've got midfield options, next season we've got a whole load of defenders. Then we're buying players that we need to revive their career, like a Zinchenko or a Jesus or a Sterling. We're trying to revive these careers, or a Havertz. I don't think that's something that's got continuity plan, which is something that Man United are now moving away from, but now we're moving back to. It doesn't make any sense. But big up, Kenny. I hear what you're saying. Forward, let's get your opinion, because unlike me and Kenny, we've not been behind this process. You've been someone that's been very positive at the start of this process, someone that could see a lot of positive in this process, even though I disagreed with you. We had a lot of discussions, a lot of debates. Where do you, as somebody that was trying to give the benefit of the doubt or trying to look at the process in a positive way, where do you stand with this process now? You're on mute, bro. You're on mute. There you go. Hold on, go on.
You gotta be real, bro. Like you know, we've digressed, bro. You know, we've the transfer market has just been a shambles. We gotta be honest, you know. And you know what I find is, like, this season especially, you know, when we lose, there's always an excuse. There's no, like, they don't hold the team and the manager responsible, especially when you go on the big platforms, and you know what I'm on about. But we're just going backwards. I think I'll be honest with you, I think, like, you know me, I've supported Arteta, and you know, I'm on the edge now, because not just with Arteta, with the club himself, bro, with Arsenal itself, because it's people like, you know, like Josh Kroenke and these people. Like I said to Kenny before, rumours come out that Vinan wasn't happy with the Havertz signing. That was the rumour. There was people at the club wasn't happy. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just saying that was the rumour. 6 months later, Vinan announces he's leaving Arsenal. Rumours are saying they weren't happy with that Raheem Sterling. It's like Arsenal. Like, as an Arsenal fan, they should be ashamed of themselves, bro. Why are we going to North London for West London buying their rejects? They're over there in Inter Milan celebrating like they got every right to celebrate. Where the Arsenal? Arsenal in what? You've never won the Champions League. You've never done it. If Liverpool fans go over there and stamp their grounds and celebrate, make noise, they got every right to. Same as Man United, same as Chelsea fans, same as Forest fans, same as Villa fans. We've got no God-given right to go over to Inter Milan thinking we're better than them. And our fans thinking, oh, we're back. Back in where? Champions League.
Same arrogance we showed against Bayern.
Yeah, there's too much arrogance in the fan base. Listen, we're not good enough. Me, I was a big fan of. I was a big supporter of it. You know, Northside and Kenny Ken. How many debates have we had? How many disagreements have we had over the last 4, 5, 6 years, Northside? But sometimes you need to be real with it, boys. Fans need to wake up, because I'm going to tell you now. Do you know the reality is? This is reality. It's not me making up. Slot will win the league before. Slot was winning the title this year. I know Slot's going to win the league. Everyone's writing off Liverpool. Oh yeah, Man City going to drop points. Even if Man City drops points and Liverpool gain points, we ain't gaining no points on them. Mm-hmm. Can you see Liverpool losing? The guy's coming to the first season in the Premier League. He's top of the table. Man City are crumbling. Everyone's thinking it's Arsenal. They got people like Gary Neville. How are you going to win a league when you've gone from Mourinho to Mohamed Al-Nani? Al-Nani's better than him. Al-Nani's track record is better than and Mourinho's. A reject from Newcastle who played championship football. You go and sell Al-Nani to bring in someone worse. At least with Al-Nani, 14 years we never won Old Trafford. He put Al-Nani in the middle and what's his name? Partey. They conquered Old Trafford, didn't they? What's Mourinho did? Mourinho's come into the team. We haven't won a game. That's Arsenal for you. And the fan base should be disgusted with themselves. They're hyping up Mourinho because he scored against... Bro, he scored against Spain, Germany. He's third choice. The guy... do you know what? Mourinho was a panic buy because Arsenal wanted the guy from Bayern Munich. No, my bad. Paris Saint-Germain. You know the one, the Spanish player? The one who plays for Spain?
Ruiz.
Before Mourinho?
Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah, Fabian Ruiz. Arsenal wanted him. That's what I'm saying. All this hype up because he's got it right. William Saliba is a hand-picked player by Unai Emery. Hand-picked player. Emery got him himself. That's Emery. So when everyone's talking about Saliba don't know no loyalty to the club. He doesn't know. Me and Northside used to argue about why ain't Saliba playing. Remember them arguments? I said, because he's young. So he's got no loyalty to the club. So when the fan base sees him go, let's see who follows. Because I'm telling you now, Real Madrid are knocking the door. They're saying already that they got the numbers ready for Saliba and Trent at Real Madrid. That's rumours over there, bro.
When they want you, what are
Bro, David Beckham, let these young fans, Kenny, Northside, you were one, you remember. But Kenny remembers this. Me and Kenny seen David Beckham play one of the greatest Man United teams ever. They won the FA Cup, they won the Champions League, and they won the Premier League. And do you know who come knocking the door for him? Real Madrid. Where did he end up, Ken? Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think
these Arsenal fans they're so backwards. They think Saliba and Saka's going to hang around. They've got no loyalty to the club. When you got Josh Kroenke there, if it's true he's giving Arteta all his power, then bruh, let me tell you something. We're in for a long run because Arteta is our age, boys. He's younger than some of us still. He's a young boy, bro. I know. Listen, I'm not going to put the blame on Arteta for this. I will blame him for the footballing reasons because he'd be diabolical. But for them to give him power, that's not on him. That's on the Kroenkes. Yeah. So the fan base, do you get me? That's on the Kroenkes. So the fan base allow this. When do you know what? Honestly, Andrew, you know how Northside, you know how Ken, brother Umar, you know how I'll figure I'll be positive, innit? You know when Slot, I think Liverpool are going to win the league. Let's see the fans' reaction. That's what I'm looking forward to because they all think that Man City, Liverpool are going to drop points. I'm going to tell you one now. Liverpool are going to drop points. Man City are going to drop points, but Arsenal are going to drop points too. But they're going to drop less points than we are, I think.
But
honestly, I think this season Liverpool are going to win the league because everyone's got this agenda with Man City and Arsenal. Liverpool's just come here and say, what? Did you see Slot the other day? He said, he's a tactician. They were struggling against Leverkusen. The man put one player in the middle, Diaz, they smashed him up 4-0. You're telling me this guy don't know what he's doing? Are you Arsenal fans stupid? Stop going off last season because this season, Liverpool are there for the reason. And we're going into Christmas now. And when people say about, they still got Man City to play, Man City lost to Bournemouth. You think Liverpool are scared to play against Man City? You Arsenal fans, they still got Man City to play. Who's the only team you see smash up Man City 4-1 in the Premier League? I think was it Liverpool? I assume so. And our fan base is just going off hope, bro. It's all hope. We're not winning the league this year. And I said to us, I said, I believe we're going to win it. Now I'm going to retract my statement, and I'm writing it off the league. I write it off. And how positive am I? Huh?
Would you get rid of him?
The thing is, they're not going to sack him. So if he don't win nothing, he's got to go.
What do you want? I'm asking you as a fan.
No, I'll give him to the end of the season. But if he don't win nothing, he's got to go.
Okay.
I know, no, and if Slot wins the league, he's definitely got to go. You can't tell me 700 million has been spent, and if any Arsenal fan says anything about this a process, they fool, then you're not an Arsenal fan to me. You're just a punter, or you're just a dumb guy. Your mother picked up the wrong basket and left his real mother somewhere else.
No, I hear that. We're gonna go back. Let me just mute you because I'm getting playback. Unless you want to jump out and come back on. But big up to Ford. Do you know what, Ford? Big up to you. Me and you have had a lot of debates. Yeah, he was Arteta in, and I've always been Arteta out. You know what? Respectfully, I respect the fact that a man can say, do you know what, I was wrong. You know what I mean? You can say, do you know what, I was backing it, but you know what, I was wrong. Apologies. Do you know what I'm saying? You called it out, fair enough. Yeah, and me and him have been having arguments, even towards the start of this channel. We've been having arguments, and Kenny Ken knows how many times. And Kenny's just looking there like, oh my days. But you know what? Fair enough, because he said enough now. Enough. Listen, it would have been better if he would have said this a lot earlier, because we spotted this a lot earlier. But to be fair to Fuad, he's calling it out. He's still getting playback. I'll meet you. But yeah, at least he's calling it out. And to be fair, he already knows that I was calling it out. Man already knows. But let's go to Omar and then we'll go back to Kenny Ken. Omar, as an outsider, I know you're a Barca fan. As an outsider, somebody who doesn't support the club, what do you make of what Kenny said? What do you make of what Fuad said?
Big up, first of all, to the panel. Big up to everyone in here. Big up to all the people in the chat. Listen, I do like listening to people like Kenny, who've been watching football for as long as you have, Fuad, even you, Northside, right? And look, I absolutely agree with everyone's opinion when it comes to Arsenal itself, right? When it comes to Arsenal, yes, Arsenal is a big club, right? No one's denying that. But in Europe, you're not. You're not big boys in Europe. I'm sorry. Inter Milan, you haven't done anything in Europe for Inter Milan to respect you. The fact that Inter Milan saw the game against Napoli this weekend as more of a threat, that they had to bench their best defenders, they had to bench one of their better midfielders, and bench one of their better attackers this season on the bench against Arsenal, because they saw that the game against Napoli was going to be more of a problem. That speaks a lot of what they think of you. And you know what's funny, right? I watch a lot of football, not just in the Premier League, but even outside the Premier League. And one thing I've learned is, when clubs finish second place, guess what? At certain points, people forget. I'll give you an example. In the early 2010s, I used to watch Serie A when Juventus were dominating it, right? There was a point when Roma were like their biggest apps. They would finish second, and they would literally take Juventus to the final day of the season, right? And they were one of the best teams. That's when they had Salah. That's why, in fact, that was the reason why Salah actually left to go to Liverpool. Because when Salah was there with Pjanic and all of them guys, and Nainggolan and all of those players, right? They had a great team. But you know what's funny? No one remembers that team. You want to know why? Because that team never won anything. If that team went on to win, that team would have been remembered today for the squad that they had. And they had a great squad. Rudiger was in that team. Pjanic was in that team. Nainggolan was in that team. Salah was in that team. Dzeko was in that team, right? They had a great team, but they never won anything. You know this, Kenny, right? You remember the Newcastle team that finished second behind United. That team was incredible. That team, they were, what, 10, 11 points clear at some point of the season? And they bottled it. But that team was an amazing team. But guess what? No one remember. Not a lot of people remember. Why? Because that team never won anything. At the end of the day, it's the teams that win that are remembered. And the issue is, I believe, honestly, Northside, I think that now what's happened is that the gas has emptied at Arsenal. The gas has emptied. Because for the last 2 seasons, you guys were going at a full pace for the league, right? And you did not, but the problem was you had too many deficiencies. It's like getting a fancy car. You're driving at high speed, but you're not looking at the fact that something is wrong with your transmission, and your car is showing it. Your car is showing you that there's something wrong with your transmission, and you need to fix it soon, or else this car is going to break down. But you ignore it because the car is still moving. And then one day when the transmission is completely jacked up, that's when you realize, you know what? Maybe I should have actually taken this to the mechanic. Well, it's too late. The car is already jacked up. Now you got to get a brand new transmission, and that's going to cost you a lot more money. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing with Arsenal. Arsenal Football Club, when after that first season, when you guys challenged for the league, you should have looked at that season and said, okay, we missed out on the league. Why? Let's look at the bigger scale. What was the problem? Defensively, we were good. Okay. Midfield, okay, maybe we need another creator. Okay, cool. We need more creators in the midfield. Okay, what about our attack? Yeah, we spread the goals, but let's be real. We don't really have a striker who is a gunman who can guarantee us 20 goals a season, which is integral for any team that wins the league. Leicester, when they won the league, had Vardy, who scored 21 goals or 22 or something crazy like that, right? Salah was scored around 20 to 30 goals a season, right? When Liverpool were winning leagues. Manchester United, heck, Sir Ferguson's final season, who was his striker? Wasn't it Robin Van Persie? How many goals did he score that season? That's the point. Every single club that's ever won the league always has that one player who will guarantee you 20 goals a season. Arsenal is the only club that I look at who look at their squad and say, we don't need a 20 goal a season striker. Like that's ever worked in any league in the world. Every league in the world, whenever you're the best, you always have key players who can guarantee you goals. The reason why my club right now, we are currently clear in the table. But you know what's crazy? Who do we have as a striker? Robert Lewandowski, a notorious striker who is known for putting the ball in the net. You understand what I'm saying? So I can look at my team and say, you know what? We have a chance of winning the league. We have a chance of winning the league because guess what? We may have some deficiency in the team, but I can guarantee that we have a goal scorer in our team who can guarantee me at least 20 goals at the end of the season. Last season, we had a poor season. Lewandowski still scored 20 goals. That is what a striker does. Even when the team is not doing well, they do their job. But that's the problem. At the end of the day, Arsenal don't have that. Arsenal could have had that. Look at Gyökeres in the Champions League against City. That could have been you. But you kept on dilly-dallying, spending 60 million on players like Kai Havertz. When a club like Sporting have a player like Gyökeres and they're asking for 75 and you're saying, well, you know what? Nah, we'll just go for a player who is not actually registered to a team this season in Raheem Sterling. There you go.
We'll create a striker. When we had Harry Kane before at this club, why didn't we create him into a striker? He actually had the ability. But instead, we gave Eddie Nketiah chances. You know what I'm saying? We're giving flipping Havertz and Jesus chances. No, this is what we do.
And
we give Iwobi a chance when Gnabry goes out and becomes the player that they thought Iwobi would become.
No, sir. I forgot to mention. One of the strikers, right? Do you guys remember that Florian Balogun went on loan to Ligue 1 and scored like 18 goals? That guy was a guy who actually showed he could put the ball in the net 18 times for a team that finished mid-table in Ligue 1. They finished like 8th, I think, in the league. He scored 18. He literally finished second top goal scorer behind Mbappe. Messi was still in the league. And so was Neymar. He scored more goals than those two. Why wasn't he given a chance? Like, seriously, what else do you need? What else do you need?
Behind him, man. Not enough PR. And when he came out and said he wants to start games, fans didn't like that. They don't like players that want to, have a voice. The same thing with Aubameyang. As soon as Aubameyang started kicking up a fuss, they're like, oh, no, get him out. He ain't listening to the manager. All these players are listening to the manager. What they do?
Can I say something, North? Can I say
Go
something?
on quickly, because then I'll get
before thing. Another thing I was going to say, Omar just pulled out a point, and Kenny and Northside. I'll tell you something now. Do you know, like, every team in the league are fighting for something? Okay, you got the likes of Leicester fighting to stay up. Then you go up to the mid-table, and then they're fighting to try and get into Europe. And then the European things, the UEFA League, the Conference League. But you know what? All them players, they buy strikers to try and get somewhere. So every one of them teams below us are trying to get the Champions League. They got Ollie Watkins. Tottenham trying to get into the European places. They got Solanke, good player. Jackson for Chelsea. You keep going down the slot. Man United got Ruggers and a thing, and now with Bruno coming in, with this Ruben Alvarez coming in, with Ruben coming in now, you don't know how they're going to play. Because you've seen what he did to Man City, and you've seen how he worked with Guterres. So if you have a look down, and you go down, and you go to the middle slot then, even Nottingham Forest got a striker. Even Bournemouth got a striker. And you wonder why. People are wondering why. These Arsenal fans are wondering, why are these teams beating us? But they're saying, because we're playing poor. No, not because we're poor. The reality is, them teams are getting better because they've all strengthened. They want to aim for what they want. If someone wants to aim 8th, they're going to buy a striker to get that 8th spot. How can the team that's meant to be the best team and the second best team in England haven't got no one? That's my question to the Arsenal fans. Every team below us have bought to get where they want to where they want to get.
Because
But the team that wants to cross the line, what's that?
And then, but Bournemouth get rid of Solanke and they get Evan Nielsen. How are they doing
100%,
that?
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like other teams are able to identify and get and play back. Let me just meet you real quick. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Everybody else can identify strikers. Benfica got rid of their striker, selling their best strikers every time. Gonzalo Ramos, Darwin Núñez. And then they go and replace him with another striker.
And
The
look
top
at the
goal
striker you
scorer
guys have now.
is Alkmaar. This is the thing. I want to get Kenny quickly because I know Kenny's on limited time. Kenny, what do you make of everything that Omar said? Because I think he brought up a lot of good points.
You know, two things resonated with me. What Omar said. The first one that resonated was something that I've been dying for someone to say it, and it's brilliant that it was someone from the outside who supports Barcelona. The arrogance of people in this country when they talk about the arrogance of last season, when people like Jamie Carragher and quite a lot of people in this country said that Arsenal was second favourites to the Champions League last season. I nearly fell out of my chair when I heard it. And then when they talk about Arsenal should go to the International and win, it's one of those things where we have no right to go on like we were the big boys in Europe. We have done nothing in Europe. We've only won 2 European trophies. West Ham won the same amount of European trophies as us. Tottenham won one more European trophy than us, 3 European trophies, and they won their last, and they won that 3rd trophy 40 years ago. So when we talk about being a big team in Europe, yeah, you're 100% right. But the thing that's really, really important as well, and it's resonate as well, was teams who perennially finish second in the table. There's going to be a situation where you can either two ways. Either your only way is up, or the doubts, the depression come in where you fall by the wayside. Because I've seen it with a lot of teams who take teams to the wire. You're right about Newcastle. When Newcastle won the league, came second in Man United in '96. Newcastle should have won the league, but they were never the same afterwards. Yes, they finished second on goal difference the year afterwards, but that was not a league title challenge. That was not a league title challenge. If you notice, the second season, Kevin Keegan left that club. And then they went into a situation where they went into a bit of decline. And then Sir Bobby took over and they became a side, but they still haven't won anything. And that's my biggest fear for Arsenal. When you look at the way we're playing now, has the, how do I say it? Maybe, depression, the doubts, the lack of confidence hit the players because we didn't win the league the last 2 years. Because the way they're playing, it shows that they have been affected by not winning the title. That they thought they got close. No matter how well they played after the Dubai trip in the new year, the calendar year, they still didn't win. They did all of that where they won consecutive games. They scored 91 goals. Had an excellent goal difference, but still couldn't beat Man City because they lost against Aston Villa. That's got to have to affect the team. That has to have an effect, because if you look at it this season, all the things that we're doing really well defensively, we haven't kept a clean sheet in the league since Spurs nearly 2 months ago. But we're meant to have the best defence in the league, yet we can't keep a clean sheet. I mean, how does that make sense? And then we're a club now that relies heavily and only solely on set pieces to win football matches. We're playing International and we rely on set pieces. Come on, this is Arsenal. This isn't the George Graham days. We're now expecting Arsenal Wenger football. Arsenal do not rely on set pieces to win football matches, and even much worse, all your players seem to be out of form. Everyone seems to be out of form. The only player that seems to be bang in form is Thomas Partey and the goalkeeper. That's it. That's it. So, you're right, 100% right. When you do say there has to be a knock-on effect from what's happened, and I think the fact that teams, have worked us out defensively, and teams have worked us out in set pieces, and we can't create a thing even, and I don't have any confidence as doing that with Michael Odegaard on the side. Then yeah, there is a problem because let's face it, we raise our games for the top teams, but the teams in the alleged bottom half, the bottom 10, if they run their nuts off and they get all their game together, they'll beat us. We should have, if Southampton and Southampton believed themselves, they could have won that game. Wolves had a lot of a spell. Leicester only had 2 attacks and scored 2 goals against us. Can you imagine if they got their act together and played with more confidence, what that would have happened? No one is scared of Arsenal, not just in Europe, in the league. Therein lies the problem. And that's where I do think there's a hangover from not winning the league against Man City. But Mikel's signings or lack of them, that's a problem. Victor Osimhen scored a brace today against Spurs. Scored a brace today in a high-profile game. He still scores goals. Despite the fact that he shows no interest in Osimhen, he still scores goals. He shows no interest in Gyökeres, still scores goals. And that's across the problem. The waiting for your Sesko is hurting us because Kai Havertz, no matter how much you try to turn him into a false number 9, is not going to get you 25 goals a season. You'd be lucky if he gets you 15, and that's going to prove really costly because the goals are drying up from Saka. Saka scores the occasional goal. Martinelli has only scored 3 goals. When was the last time Martinelli got a goal? Jesus hasn't scored in the league this season. So the goals are drying up to the extent that you're relying on Gabriel Magalhaes to score from a set piece. Make it make sense. We're struggling in all aspects of our game. And if we don't beat Chelsea and Liverpool win and Man City win this weekend, you're going to have to say it's a 2-horse race where we're not included, we're not part of that team that can win the league. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a long, long haul. And we may find that Arteta will keep his job because he's kept us in the top 4, not because of the fact that he's been part of a title challenge. Things can change because, you can lose games here and there, but the way we're playing, the way we're trying to break teams down, doesn't give me any confidence that we can turn this around anytime soon.
No, I hear that. I think it was hilarious when people wanted to compare Arsenal to Liverpool. Well, there's nothing in comparison. When you look at Klopp with prime Liverpool that were able to win the league, look at the way they recruited players. Look at their team. Not only did they have Firmino scoring goals, but they had 2 wingers that were getting up there in goals, 20 goals a season. The other winger, 20-odd goals. They had a midfield that knew their job, and they knew their job well. They didn't deviate from the way that they played football, Liverpool. They continued to perfect the way that they played football. And a lot of people criticizing Liverpool at the time. It's high line, they're getting caught out. They had a Trent Alexander-Arnold that was actually, that could create, but they had a midfield that could facilitate with Trent being out of position a lot of times. And now you're seeing a better side to Trent under this controlled slot regime where he's not getting caught out. He's not getting caught out like that, like he was last season or the season before that. They had players that actually turned up in finals. They had a team that were getting to finals. Yeah, they weren't getting over the line, but they were getting to finals. Before they won a major honor, they were getting to finals. Their manager had the credentials to get them to finals, to get them the taste of getting to the finals. And every single time he was looking for, what's the players that we need to? Okay, let's sell Coutinho and let's go get Van Dijk. Let's go get a world-class goalkeeper. They didn't dibble-dabble with 4 or 5 goalkeepers. They didn't went and got Robertson. They didn't go and get 6, 7 left backs to get the right left back that they needed. When they got Salah, he was in I think it was in Roma. He was in Serie A.
Roma. Yeah, that was when they finished second against Juventus. He scored like 15 goals.
People are looking at Salah as a flop from Chelsea. They weren't looking at him as a solution. Mane was from Southampton?
Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. And look at how they evolved under that manager. Has Saka evolved? I don't think he's evolved. Has Martinelli evolved? Has Havertz and Jesus and Zinchenko evolved?
And Northside, sorry, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. It's nice to meet you, bro, man. Or we'll definitely do this soon, okay?
No, 100%. Kenny, quickly shout out where people can follow you on IG, man.
They can find me at KennyKen1972 on Instagram. I'll try and make it as much fun, but it's all football related.
No,
it's not Arsenal. It's everyone else. So Omar, nice to meet you. I'll speak to you.
Nice to meet you too, man. I actually follow you on Instagram, so I actually.
Thank you very much. We'll speak soon, man. Bro.
Big up, Kenny, man. Big up. That's the unks, man. You gotta respect unks, man.
Of course, bro. Of course.
The facts. But this is what we're saying, Omar. Like you looked at that team, and you looked at the players that they had. You know, like that was a team that was able to compete. They had strikers coming off the bench doing the job. Like strikers that could actually finish, bro. What was that guy?
Storage Shaqiri, flipping Storage. That Shaqiri. They had what's his name? Origi. Bro,
Origi, another one. People were laughing at Origi. Origi could actually come off the bench and do a job. He could actually get them a goal when needed. Can we say that about our strikers? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that team, had a manager that actually done his credentials. Because before he was at Dortmund, he was at, what was that German team called?
Mainz.
That's it. Mainz.
And he took Mainz. He brought Mainz from the second division. Like that's what the people need to understand. This is why I was using the Amorim example too, because you see Amorim's resume. The reason why Amorim is a worrying sign for everyone in the league is that when you look at Amorim's managerial career, this guy, when he took over Braga, he ended Braga's like literally 55-year run with a not having no Champions League football for 55 years. He ended it, right? Did that, and then he said, okay. And everyone was like, yo, that's actually crazy. This manager has actually done something incredible. And then he says, you know what? Hold my beer. He goes to Sporting Lisbon and ends the 20-year run of Benfica and Porto's league title run. Like literally, this brother has shown you all, I am one of a few. I am one of a kind. I'm the one that breaks the mold. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the one that breaks the rules. So when people are looking at this and people don't understand, bro, this manager, this Amorim guy, he's scary, bro, because he has the potential of bringing Manchester United back from the dead. He's already proven that he can do impossible stuff, things that were considered impossible or difficult to do. You understand what I'm saying?
He won that, I think, within 5
years. He also, yes. So he won a trophy with Braga. You see what I'm saying, right? And that's the point. At the end of the day, resumes is what matters. Klopp, when he was at Mainz, took them from the second division. I think that was the first time, or maybe it had been a long time since they've been in the Bundesliga. He brought them back in the Bundesliga in 2004, and they never got relegated since. He made them when he left in 2008, I think 2009 or 2010 when he left, right? Around that time, right? When he left Mainz in a stable position in the Bundesliga. They were a full Bundesliga team. It's kind of like Crystal Palace in the Premier League, right? They're just there now. No, they're not in any relegation fights or any of those stuff, right? He takes over the Dortmund job. 1 season, 2 seasons. I remember in 2010 they had like Mohamed Zidane, the Egyptian striker, right? And then in 2011, I think that was the season that they won the league, and then they won the league back to back, right? With Lewandowski, who, by the way, if people don't realize, Lewandowski was a player who was on his way to Blackburn before he went to Dortmund under Sam Allardyce, right? And he brought this guy to his club, and they made him one of the deadliest strikers in the world within 2 years, right? And then he broke that mold. He took them to a Champions League final. People forget about that Champions League final. He took Dortmund to the Champions League final, right? And then he left Dortmund, came to Liverpool. And from the moment, and this is what I've always said, you see this terminology, trust the process. It's easy to trust the process when you see what the process is. At the end of the day, if the Liverpool fans were being told, trust the process, the Liverpool fans could trust the process. You want to know why? Because from the moment this brother took over the job in 2016, the first thing he did that season with a squad that was not his, he took them to a cup final. 2 cup finals, and they lost both. And everyone looked at them and said, it's disappointing that we lost both of these cups, but he did it with a squad that's not necessarily his. So he's shown that if we back him, maybe we can go and get, maybe we can actually challenge and win something next season with his players, right? And what did he do? He went to Southampton, bought Sadio Mane, who, remember, In Southampton, Sadio Mane was a top player. This guy was looking like one of the best attackers in the league. The fact that Liverpool were just able to just sign him just like that, it surprised me at the time, because I was like, bro, why is it that there are no other teams like Arsenal and United looking at this guy? Because he literally, I think he's broke the record for the fastest hat trick against Sunderland.
It's the same reason, yeah. It's the same reason why Liverpool took a chance with Benitez. Because Benitez had a track record. Yes, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But he had a track record. Look at what he done with Valencia.
He won the league. But people forget. Do you know how hard it is to win the league in La Liga when if you're not called Barcelona or Real Madrid? I'm sorry, if you are a manager who wins the league ahead of Barcelona and Real Madrid, you are highly rated. You should be you should be able to get any job, because that is literally the most difficult thing ever, bro. Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're just in another planet compared to the other teams in the league. So if you are in and around them to actually be there, to actually win ahead of them, that's why Simeone is highly rated, because he didn't do it once, he did it twice. He did it in an era, and Lee Gunnar will even attest to this. His first league title in 2014, you know who was in the league at the time? Right? He had a prime Messi, prime Ronaldo, scoring 50, 60, 70 goals a season, and he still managed to win the league ahead of Barcelona and Real Madrid. Right? That Madrid team won the Champions League that season. People forget this, and the Barcelona team people forget, he won the league at the Camp Nou. He beat. We were challenging. We were the only challenger, because Real Madrid had already pulled out of the title race because they were in the Champions. They were focusing on the Champions League, right? We were going head to head with them, and on the final day of the season, they had to come to our home and secure the league with a draw. We had everything on our side, and guess what, bro? They left with a 1-1 draw and won the league in our stadium. That's how you do it, man. That is what a top manager does. He ended the cycle of Barcelona and Real Madrid at Barcelona Stadium. And remember, we were actually the defending champions, so people forget this. We were the defending champions of the league. So he took our crown. He literally took our crown from us. Right there, came to our home stadium and stole the crown and said, yeah, this is mine now. What are you going to do about it? That's how you do it.
Man are talking about that. These guys talk about managers like, but this guy's as good as this guy. Look at their track record before their move, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look at what Mourinho earned that move to Chelsea, of what he did with Porto. What he did with Porto, go look at that squad, bro. Go look at that squad. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expected Porto to win the Champions League, and nobody expected Mourinho at that time with that Porto team to beat Man United, bro. Nobody expected. This is a Man United coming off of, players that have won the treble and stuff like that. Prime Fergie, bro.
Oh yeah, not said. Don't also forget, he won 2 European trophies back to back. Let's never forget. He won the Europa League in 2003 and won the Champions League in 2004. So he won 2, not 1, but 2 back to back. He won the Europa League, which was called the UEFA Cup at the time. He won the Europa League, and then he won the Champions League. That's how you build a resume. That's literally the best, bro. Do you know how hard it is to win 1 European trophy? But you got to go into 2 European trophies and win both. Remember, Unai Emery nearly did that with Villarreal. He won the Europa League and went to the semi-finals of the Champions League the following season. Imagine if he did that, how highly rated he would have been. If he did that, he would have gotten the Madrid job.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Fuad, I want to get you in a conversation as well. Bro.
I find a lot of Arsenal fans, they disrespect Mourinho. Like, I got my friends down here, my friends down here, some of them who don't. And like, with Mourinho, like people talk about Mourinho, he spent money. That was the excuse. He spent money. Remember that? He spent money. That's all even me as a fan is here. If we had that money, we'd be winning things too. But it turns out not to be true. Because Mourinho, how old was he when he won the league? Was he 40? He was 42 when he won. 41 or 42 with a bit of money. He won it with Porto, Champions League. He won the thing, and then when he went to Chelsea, he had money. He spent money. He never spent he spent about 200 million, 300 million, but he won the title back to back. But no one talks about it no more. How come no one talks about Jose Mourinho's less money spent over them years? No more. How come Arsenal fans don't speak about it no more? Do you know why they don't speak about it? Because Arsenal as a club itself spent 700 million. We got nothing to show for it. So that's why when you speak to Arsenal fans, like, now we're spending money, we're not winning nothing. We got nothing to show for it. So when it's kind of like it kind of killed the argument of Mourinho now, because when Mourinho was spending, Arsenal fans had a problem. But it wasn't Arsenal fans don't understand that our club was pilfering off the fans. That's what they were doing. They had a story every year. There was a story. Do you know what? It's funny enough. About when it comes to the fans and the money, they always find excuse. What about the stadium? What about this? What? I was listening to us. Remember, there was an ex-footballer, ex-Arsenal player too, and he played. Oh, what's his name? Was it Bentley? David
Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley. Yeah. He went to Tottenham, didn't he?
Yeah.
He come out and said, there was an interview with him in Talk Sport. He said when I was at Tottenham, and we finished in the Champions League first time ever. He went, Daniel Levy come down, and Harry Redknapp, and they said, now we're in it big time. We can get a stadium. We're going to move forward. And he said, he had a project to build a stadium years down the line, but he said the thing is, when Tottenham made that money, made Champions League for 4 or 5 years and paid off their stadium, we were in the Champions League for 22 years and they were pilfering lies to us. Oh, we got to pay off the stadium. How come Tottenham spent 5 years build a stadium to that calibre and it took us 12 years to pay it off? So I knew they were pilfering. After I heard his interview, when he's saying that, he said, well, you should have said, he said the whole Tottenham thing at the whole board meeting, he said, yeah, we're gonna do this. Daniel Levy come out, said the stadium's coming, everything's coming. That was the first year they got in the Champions League. Then obviously they stayed there for a few years, didn't they, with Pochettino but they made a lot of money then. Do you know what I mean? So Arsenal's always got money, bro. I don't know. I've noticed with the thing when people say we haven't got money, we have got money. It's they chose, and this is what the fans got to realize. It's not we haven't got no money. They choose to go and get the likes of Chelsea rejects. They choose to do it. Don't. They have got money. Do you know us guys? When it comes to fashion, we're the best at it. We're dropping a tracksuit every year. Where do you think it's going? In any of your pockets? See these fans who travel. How much did you spend to go to Inter Milan? Inter Milan yesterday. They spent 550 for the package. All them fans. You put money into the club. Then you go and buy that tracksuit. So where's that money going? Oh, you know what they do? I tell you, they refund and they send it back to your mother's house. Of course, the club got money. They got money, but the thing is, they don't. The fans get happy with mediocre players. Like when they bought Declan Rice, when they bought Declan Rice for 100 million, a normal fan would expect him to go buy a striker for 100 million. But not Arsenal. No, Arsenal got better ideas. Let's do our research. Let's go and buy this guy. Let's go and buy that side. Let's go. If you're going to spend 100 million on Declan Rice and win nothing, and bring in a reject from Chelsea, and keep bringing in rejects from Chelsea, how are you going to win the league? Where's your own players? Where are they? Where's all the Arsenal players? What's your scrape? Mate, everyone writes off. That's what I love about Wenger. Even though when Wenger was at the word Wenger, he done a swap where they took Ashley Cole, we took William Gallas. But William Gallas had standards. He was a good player for Arsenal. He was the only player you could turn around him and Peter Cech and say, you know what, bro?
Yeah, but he was still wrong not giving Ashley Cole the wages, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
100%. That's the thing. That's been that club. But I'm just saying to you is, if you're going to talk to Chelsea players, I think our best 2 players who come from Chelsea was William Gallas and Peter Cech. And they were both of them,
both of
I wouldn't say Peter Cech. William Gallas, yeah, he was actually a good player.
He was a good player, bro. Because I was there, and like I was saying, so we've continued it, like Willian, Havertz, David Luiz, and now we're in a title race. Let's go to Chelsea, Jorginho, and Havertz. Come on, Arsenal fans, we're Arsenal. Go and find your own jams. You're telling me that this guy played professional football and he can't find sport talent, and you wonder why we're not, and you wonder why we don't cross the line. Mate, do you know one thing I respect about Pep Guardiola and all I think that him and Haaland, they don't get on. You seen that from the Burnley game last year. They were arguing and kicking off, and there was a report saying we don't get on. But you know what Pep Guardiola said? It's not about getting on. It's strictly business. See what he said? I'm not here to pamper him. I'm not here to put my hand around him. It's strictly business. If Haaland don't like me, I don't care. And if I don't like him, he don't care. Long as he's putting the ball in the net, he's doing his job. Because in your job, I'm not here to like you. I'm only here to work with you. I'm stuck with you from 9 to 5 to train you. That's working with him. No manager ever come out and said, I love these players. I love these players. Love what, bro? And you got fans there, oh, no. I love who, right? When you ever seen Alex Ferguson come and say, I love these players? When you ever see Mourinho? Every man who won that thing, you can like your players, you can defend them. Wenger used to defend them. But you don't come, I love these players, I love these players. These players now think they're better than what they are.
Yeah,
These players thinking, do you know what, he loves us that much, we don't have to push out. So when they play shit on the pitch, what the Pep Guardiola do? You seen that day when they won 2-0 against Burnley, alright? Last year in Christmas. And Haaland didn't do something. Pep Guardiola went over and drilled him in front of everyone. In front of the cameras. Because the man don't care about his personality life. The man don't care about his feelings. The man only cares about winning. Pep Guardiola don't care if you can wipe his shoes all day. If he don't like you, he don't like you because he's not here to like you, he's here to work with you. And that's what I'm saying. When he's been under Pep Guardiola, what's he learned under Pep? Because bro, Pep would never allow that. You see Pep Guardiola would never see. You see Sheikh Mansour going to Chelsea? Yeah, they bought one Chelsea player, but Sheikh Mansour, Pep Guardiola found out about the Haaland situation and the breakup in Dortmund. Within 6 weeks, he's going to Man City. That's why they win the league, because they own and people give League under a hard time. A lot of these but he's speaking the truth. The only owners who are really serious about winning the title are the Arabs.
That's true.
That's why they hate them, bro.
And before Umar, I'll leave you on this one. And guess who they want to buy now? The Arab Cuisine. Guess who they want to buy now? Liverpool.
Oh dear Lord.
There's rumours saying that the Arabs, the king of Saudi, one of the Saudi things, might buy Liverpool.
And you know that is GG's,
and he's willing to sell. And
bro,
why do you think that? Yeah. Oh,
what? If that happens, it's GG's. Because they're already good. Imagine them with all that money now.
Exactly. That's rumours. And that's why do you think Liverpool now are hitting another pedestal? Because they know there might be new owners coming in to give them money. And if they get money, yeah. If they win the league this year, you know the Arabs are buying them.
Bro, I was already stressed, and I said this, yeah? Hold on, let me mute you quickly. I already said this. When Man United get their stuff in order, it is long for us. Remember, they were spending just as much money as City when they were in the ground, when they were finished and they were banter. That fan base is bigger than Arsenal's. That club's history is bigger than Arsenal's. That club has got more pull than Arsenal. So does Liverpool.
Yep.
Liverpool are the most successful team in Europe, in England. 6 Champions Leagues. If they get money, it is longer. What is our selling point? Our selling point at the moment, yeah, when it comes to the big... This is why Arsenal can't get Rafinha over the line going up against Barcelona. This is why Arsenal can't go and get Benzema from Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a starter. We got Ozil because he was pushed out of the team. Because he was no longer a starter. Under the if he was still a starter, do you think Ozil would have come to Arsenal? No, he wouldn't.
Bro, they wanted him gone. Let's call it for what it is. They want the space.
And we were putting the money down. And the only selling point with Arsenal is dollar bills. But guess what? When you go up against the elite, yeah, they can spend the same money. They can spend the same money. So then what's the selling point? If I can get the same money at Arsenal than I can at Barca, but I'm going to be winning major honours, who am I going to? If that club has got if I could go to Real Madrid, but I can stay at Arsenal, same money, but that club is always demanding to win, I might as well go there. Because even if I make bench like Ceballos, I'm still winning. Even if I make bench, I'm picking up trophies. So, cool. Maybe I don't even make it into the first team. Isco, how many times are he on the bench? How many times are he in the bench? Picking up trophies, though. Mm-hmm. Picking up Asensio. How many times are he in the bench? Picking up trophies, though. Yeah? So, even when you retire, cool, I got paid. Yeah, I may not be a starter, but I was picking up trophies, though. I still was winning stuff. You get me? So Alex Song going to Barcelona. Why did you look at that as an upgrade? Why? Because he's still picking up trophies. Still. Why I got to stay at Arsenal for? Why? Fabregas saw it. Oh, I got to get money at Arsenal, but over there I can win trophies. So I might as well go win trophies. And it's better weather, a bigger team. My profile goes up. If we're talking about social media, they're bigger clubs. I'm going to get more of a social media presence over there, probably better deals, making more money. Jude Bellingham, I'm sure he doesn't want to come back to England. Like, come on, man, what are we talking about?
Bro, you're at Madrid. You know what it is, Northside, right? This is why I said the Saliba thing is inevitable. Bro, it is now even more likely now that he's definitely going to Madrid. Because I want you to understand, you just, Kenny just said it, Fuad just said it. What is Madrid's weakest point right now? What is the one area right now they keep having a problem with? Defense. And you know who's currently the best defender in the world and the upcoming defender in the world right now? His name is William Saliba. You wanna know what are Arsenal doing this season? Nothing. What have Arsenal been doing the last few seasons? Nothing. You think Saliba has any loyalty to Arsenal Football Club? This guy has already given you 3 years to get your stuff together, and you didn't. This guy has
said, yeah, he was asked. I don't know if you saw this, Omar, yeah? He was asked I think it was like a month or two ago. He was asked, Saliba, do you think you're the best defender in the world? He goes, to be the best defender in the world, I can't say I'm the best defender in the world until I win stuff. You can already see the guy's mentality. This guy's French. This guy is French. One of the most successful national teams ever, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? You can say whatever you want about their league, bro, but they produce ballers every generation. Anelka, Henry, the list goes on. They produce ballers, and that nation, in terms of international football, have the mentality to win, bro. Yeah, so you can say whatever you want, bro, but as a nation, the mentality is different. But the mentality is not to accept loser mentality. So if someone's got a mentality like that, we had one before. Fabregas left, Van Persie left, Nasri left.
And you know what's funny?
All these men left, bro.
And you know what's funny?
Fabregas, Henry, Song, Vermaelen all saw the light and went to Barcelona to win trophies. Even Henry, the reason why Henry stayed, because Henry was holding on to Arsenal still had the standards of when he came through. When we got the money for Anelka, we went and got Henry. We went and had Birdcamp, and then we got Overmars, got Patrick Vieira. He was still holding on to. Hold on, this manager's brought me success in my career, multiple league titles. We got to a Champions League final. He's expecting us to carry on. Eventually, so but I can't do nothing with these men.
Yeah, but also no side because he realized at certain point, bro, he was aging. The thing is, bro, when we signed him, he was 29. He understood, I got only a limited amount of time in the top, right? And I have only one trophy I haven't got in my cabinet right now. I've won the World Cup. I've won the Euros. I've won leagues. I've won domestic cups. I've won it all. The only thing I haven't won is a Champions League. And I need to win that now because my career is going to be ending soon. He was 29. He knew, bro, once he reached 30s, bro, he's not going to be the same. He's not going to be at the heights that he used to be. And he was right. Because when he joined Barcelona, his stats kept on going down every season. But guess what? 2 seasons later, he won the Champions League. So guess what? Bro, think about it, Northside. He won the Champions League in 2009 and then left Barcelona in 2010. Because, dude, he had already accomplished. That was the only reason he joined us. He wanted to win. He wanted to go to a club where he had a higher chance of winning the Champions League. So when he went to Barcelona, when we had Ronaldinho and all those guys, yeah, they didn't win it. But guess what? When Pep arrived, we won the treble. And when we won the treble, he was like, all right, cool. I've won everything in football. That's why when, because guess what? And that's why when New York Red Bulls came in for him, bro, he took the money. Because he was like, yo, I'm done. I've literally won everything in football, bro. I'm just going to go and retire in New York.
I've even as a kid, I've always liked Barcelona. From the days of Romario, they've always been my team too, like a second team, bro. You gotta, to support Arsenal, you have to have a second team, or you'll die of depression.
I mean, you see Lee Gunner, right? Lee Gunner supposed to be a Madrid.
As a kid, I used to watch Barcelona and Arsenal because because when you used to watch that Romario play, used to go like. Romario used to come and just dominate, and then Ronaldinho, and they've had wicked players over the years, like innit, so many, and like even back in the day, when you watch Italian football, when you had the likes of Nesta, you had the likes of what's his name, Maldini, all the players, you had Luis Figo, you had to like football back then because football was open. It wasn't just like now. It was like I find football now, especially in the Premier League. They turned it like into a team when you have to be them, you have to support them, you have to buy their merch, you have to. It's like you're a punter. You know, I enjoy football, bro. I am an Arsenal fan in England, but I have Barcelona topped over my ears, so I'm a Barcelona and Arsenal fan, bro. I'll be honest with you, bro. Because if I was just supported Arsenal, bro, it's Barcelona and thing, you'd be depressed, bro, all your life. You'd be living in a mental home.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Supporting Arsenal my whole life, yeah, and Benfica. I'll be real, yeah. I've seen more. I think I've seen about 8, 9 league titles, something like that. Probably even more. About 10 cups, bro. I've seen way more success being a Benfica fan than an Arsenal fan, bro. And that's why when people are, oh, Northside, you're always stressed, bro. Let me tell you something. It ain't gonna last too long. It's never lasted too long with Benfica. Never, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And just before Sporting started winning, we won the league like 5 times in a row or something. We were dominating our league. So don't worry about that, yeah, because we'll continue picking up trophies. Don't worry. Benfica are rubbish at the moment. I've never seen Benfica go not even 10 years in the crap. Never. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is the thing, yeah. Even though, yeah, Benfica been stressing me out, Benfica rubbish. I don't like the manager. It ain't gonna last too long, bro. Trust me. I've seen more success with Benfica, bro, being a Benfica fan. More success. And bear in mind, yeah, I've seen these guys bottle in Europa League finals, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And yet I've still seen more trophies and more success. That's the only thing that's brought me a bit of happiness in my football supporting life. It's actually been Benfica, a team where, oh, it's a farmers league. Who cares? Who cares about Benfica? Cool. No worries. No worries, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is where it is. So big up, man. Listen, big up to the both of you. Big up to Omar. Big up to Forward. Omar, shout out your channel. The link to Omar's channel is in the description. So make sure you're subscribing. Real one. Shout out your thing, Omar, and what you got coming out.
We got obviously my channel is on the link that's in the title. Omar BYT. If you guys search on YouTube, you'll be able to find me. And yeah, guys, I do watch alongs. I do football watch alongs. I do European Cup watch alongs. I'll try and do a Premier League watch along this weekend. I might be doing the Liverpool Aston Villa game. But I do content about Barcelona. I also do. I'm also getting into the NBA watch alongs as well. So yeah, if you guys are NBA fans as well, I do NBA watch alongs during the late hours, obviously because of here in the US. But yeah, man, big ups to all of you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
Big up, man. Make sure you're supporting Omar. Fuad, what are you saying, bro? Big up. Make sure you're subscribing to Fuad. The link to his channel is in the description as well. What are you saying, bro?
Nah, you're muted. You're muted.
You're mute. You're mute.
You're on mute.
I said all the brothers, man, support brother Omar, man. Subscribe to Omar, man. Show the love, Arsenal fans, man. And you know what? I got advice to you all. Like Barcelona too, because your life will be made easier. Because they're doing good, bro. I'm telling you, that manager, he is sick now. Yo, bro. See, this is people. People in it. Omar, they say Javi got sacked. Javi, I don't think he got sacked. I think he went upstairs. He said, "I love the club that much. I can't take him no further."
No, sir. I literally said it on this channel one time.
Yeah,
bro.
he never got sacked. People think he never got sacked.
In February, he said, "I'm tired. This job has kind of taken a lot out of me." You understand what I'm saying? That's why at the end of the day, the club wanted to convince him to stay, right? But in the end, when they agreed to deal with Hansi Flick, they told Xavi, and Xavi was like, "Yeah, I'll go." I wanted to go in the first place, so I'm good. And you know what? I'm glad he did, bro. Because guess what, bro? He had 2 seasons. He won 1 league title, won 1 Super Cup, bro. He's good. He's literally accomplished more than Arteta, bro.
I'm telling you, Omar him. Do you know what? I swear down. Do you know what? I was watching the footballers interview him, and bro, I seen him one time. He had an interview with Henry, Redknapp. I think Lampard was there. They were all there, and everyone was calling him the boss. Like they were like, this guy. Do you know when someone's respected in football, Javi? You see from ex-players, like when they see him, and they're all clapping when he come on the thing. The guys, Javi and Iniesta, you know already what time it is, bro. You know, you can't. Them people, like, I respect him, bro, because he done it as a player at Barcelona. He done it as a manager, and he went upstairs and said, "Listen, I can't take the club further. I love the club too much." When a new, like he said, when a new manager come, they never sacked him. He went, "Thank you, I was going anyway because I couldn't handle." Because the guy, bro, that's what you call a man who loves the club.
I think that you know what, and let me just say this. I think for Xavi, I think all he wanted to do was to take Barcelona to a position where they could at least be there and thereabouts to challenge I don't think the idea was that he was going to be I don't think he even saw himself being at Barcelona for 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 years. You understand what I'm saying, right? He just wanted to come in and basically build the club to a certain position where they were like good enough to at least challenge for at least the league. You understand what I'm saying? So that way, at some point when he got tired, he could just say, listen, man, I build a good squad, I can go. Bro, if you think about it, Northside, this is technically Xavi's team. This is Xavi's team. So technically, Xavi has built a team, left the club, and that the same team he's built is currently dominating right now.
While the club's in debt.
You see my point? This is how you build a team, Northside, right? The crazy thing is, if Arteta leaves, you know that whoever the next manager is going to have to buy his own players. Because some of these players are not good enough. That's the crazy thing.
That's the thing. Because of Hansi Flick, man. That hurts me, man. That hurts me. But this fan base always think they know better, Omar. This is the thing. They always think they know more. They always think they know better. Make sure you're subscribing to Omar BYT. Make sure you're subscribing. Link is in the title. Make sure you're supporting the man them. Also forward as well. And we're going to redirect to Lee doing a watch along for the Man United game. I'm going to get something to eat and I'm out, man. Big up. Love, guys, for jumping on. We're out. Love.
Big up.
Just suck out today.